We are at Hardesty's Meats and Deli, where the food is great and the people are even better. And today, unfortunately, Dax didn't show up. He had things to do in Tulsa, and we get to talk a little bit about our athletic director with some people who have known him through the collegiate ranks. We'll be back with some special guests and segment 2, head coach Madonna from the football team is going to tell us how the summer has been going and what to expect from the season. We're coming to you live right here from Hardesty's Meats and Deli. Hardesty Market and Deli, a real butcher shop for over 80 years. Daily lunch specials just like Mom used to make. Best cuts of meat and even better people. Your family at Hardesty Market and Deli. Sonic Drive-In originated in Shawnee, serving great food fast to your family. Drive up, order, and eat in your car. Now, more than 3,500 stores worldwide, it's Sonic Good at our local Sonics.
Pretty good.
I've got Sean and Josh Lewis here with us at Hardesty's, and we get to talk about Dax a little bit. Sean, I met you about a few weeks ago. Correct. You're looking at my roof. I need some stuff done. And we start talking, and lo and behold, you know our athletic director, our beloved Dax. What can you tell us about your experience meeting Dax, how you met, and what you guys were talking about?
Well, first time I met Dax was my son Josh was a freshman at Roth. He came down on a recruiting trip to watch Josh play, and pretty much just got to know him through the baseball program. Then, not just the baseball, we kind of hung out on the side and ate dinner and stuff. So got to know him on a personal level as well, and trying to be just a really good friendship. And I know he's a no-show today, but that's okay. We still love him. He's always been a great guy to us and phenomenal coach, man. One of the best coaches, baseball coaches, collegiate baseball coaches that I've been around. Very knowledgeable of the game, and like I said, very personable, easy to approach. Has never, ever big league. A lot of your coaches are big league, but he never has. He's a really good guy, even though he didn't show up.
Well, you know a person is a great person when you ask somebody to describe them, their eyes light up and they smile. That's like what you look for. And as I talked to Josh, you're a freshman. You've got the head coach of a leading junior college coming down, and he was looking at you. I know I've talked to Dax a little bit about that, and he states you are a very gifted player. Josh, what drew you to our athletic director, Dax Leone, as a person, as a coach, and really you look at that age as a mentor?
As a person, I'd say the way he just approached you and talked to you and made you feel like, honestly, one of his kids, basically. He was a great guy at that. And as a coach, I just could see it in his excitement to want to coach you. Most coaches, they'll just try to talk to you and bull crap with you a little bit, but he tried to get to know you as a deeper level as a person and as a player. But I knew the way he built that team as a coach, he was going to be an awesome coach. So wish I'd have got to play for him, but you know, things change and they take turns, but that's okay. I think he's gonna make a big difference in the Shawnee baseball program, and yeah, that's about it. I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah.
And we talk about that because Dax recruited Josh for 4 years, and Josh actually went to the college at the time in which Dax got a different job and had to go away. And that's something that I want to talk about because now he's our athletic director. And I'm going to ask you both as a coach and a player, and a parent. As athletic director, what do you think makes Dax Leone stand out as a leader for our entire sports department?
I think it's his vision. His vision in all aspects of all sports, football, baseball, basketball, wrestling, anything. I think he cares. He's passionate about his job. I can't mention passion enough with him. He's a very, very passionate guy, and I think he's a good leader. I think his leadable ability is bar none.
Yeah.
And by far, him being a Shawnee, that was a very big asset they hired was Dax Leone. Yep.
Well, Josh, you being recruited by 4 years, you were a part of his team. You were looking forward to working more with this guy.
Yes.
How does that translate now, do you think, for his coaches, who is really his team now? What are the attributes that Dax has as a player that just makes you want to do your best?
I've always wanted to play hard, no matter what, for any coach at that aspect. But for Dax, it's just like I'd run through a brick wall. You know what I mean? Really, I'd run through a brick wall, still to this day. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just talk to him. Just talk to that person, and then you'll probably also want to run through a brick wall, whether it's baseball, football, anything. You'll want to. Yeah. He's awesome.
He's a motivator. He's a motivator.
Very much so. He'll motivate you to run through that wall.
Josh, you hit the nail on the head, because one of our sayings always around here is just talk to people. And when you get to know them, you want to be on their team.
Absolutely.
You want to be on our side. And as a community, that's what we want for all of us. Hey,
Yes.
LNS Roofing and
Thank you.
Construction,
Absolutely.
thanks for jumping
Thank
on
you.
a
Thank you.
minute's notice and
Absolutely.
making one of
Anytime.
the best segments we've ever had with Dax.
Yes, Dax.
That's right.
That's right.
We'll be back with Coach Madonna right after this. At McElroy and Owens Funeral Group, your loved one never leaves our care. From your first phone call at the time of loss through final resting, we are with you. Stop by McElroy and Owens for a visit today.
We always ask for Action Physical Therapy, and we always recommend it to our friends. When we're in the orthopedic doctor's office, they always give us the option, well, you need physical therapy. Do you have a choice of where you want to go? And we always ask for Action because we know Katie and Andy Landys, and we trust the service and the care that we're going to get there.
I ask for Action.
Hey guys, this is Sean with Play It Again Sports, and we have a pretty exciting month coming up. We've been really busy, so we need your help. One of the main items we're looking for is used baseball gloves. For example, this right-handed throw Mizuno first baseman, original retail $149.99, at our store $49.99 used. A little bit older, but also a classic Nakona. Our retail $129.99, original retail $249.99. Play It Again Sports, we buy and sell new and used sports equipment.
Do you want an easy car buying experience? Castor Keys on Harrison. No hidden fees, no price gimmicks. Castor Key Auto Mart for a fair and convenient car buying experience. Back at Hardesty Meat and Deli, where the food is great and the people are even better, and we've got one of the best with us right now, Coach Jason Madonna. First of all, Jason, you've transitioned now from Del City to the Shawnee program. You've had a few weeks with our kids. Tell us what your first impressions are of our Shawnee High School football program.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's primed. That would be the best word I can say. It's ready to be successful. Kids want it. They're hungry. They've been working extremely hard through some uncomfortable conditions. And I think we are ready to show people what we've been doing.
Well, I've seen the schedule. 8 of the 10 games are questionable whether or not we could actually compete with these teams. I mean, we have Lawton on the schedule, Guthrie on the schedule, Carl Albert on the schedule. I think we've got Ardmore on the schedule. I know we've got McGinnis on. I mean, we've got some major league competition. And I want to say to you, 5-6 years ago, we were kicking their butts. I mean, we were going 8-2. It has never been a question of whether or not our kids are talented enough to compete around the state. But this year, man, that schedule looks overwhelming. How does it hit you?
Well, first of all, we don't fear any opponent. We respect all of them, but we don't fear. We know what we are. We're Shawnee High School, and we have talent, just like they have talent. What we have to catch up with is the commitment and the discipline aspect. Once we get that in line, where we're every day putting in the proper amount of work to prepare to win, and then that's when that tide changes into our favor.
Well, our numbers over the last few years have really dwindled down, and you stepped back into the program, and our numbers are again ballooning, which is something, watching the program we love to see, because we believe that athletics is great for our kids. Jason, what have you done to help more kids be involved in football this season?
Well, I think some of that is just a numbers game. Classes, you know, we went through a stretch. We had a couple small classes as far as male athletes go, and now the numbers are starting to get better. I think first and foremost, what I try to do is bring in high-quality men, my assistant coaches around these guys, and we've ran the Summer Pride this summer, so all of our coaches have been around our kids, and they've been able to build those relationships, and then kids tell other kids, and so we're happy with the numbers that we have, but we're not satisfied. You know, I said early on, I want every male athlete I can get to come play football. So that's the ultimate goal, is to continuously grow to where young men are excited to play Shawnee football. But I'm excited about them. I'm happy with the progress. You know, I think we're heading in the right direction. I think I've hired some great coaches, some great mentors to be around our young men. And I'm excited to see it come together.
Well, one of the reasons why I'm most excited at this time of the year is because we hired you, Jason, and what you bring to the table. I mean, I've seen the resume, but you hit it on the head when you say you went out and you hired who you wanted to hire, meaning you hired winners. And I believe that it goes from the top down, and this is the top we're talking about. Tell me about some of your coaches and tell me about why you know that they are winners.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, our defensive coordinator, Mike Blitch, he's coming from Booker T. He's been there for the past 7-8 years. Majority of it, he was their defensive coordinator. And Del City and Booker T has kind of become a rivalry. You know, we saw many playoff matchups. I've had to face him in the regular season. And so I know what he brings to the table because I've experienced it firsthand. You know, it's tough for me to prepare for. He knows how to handle and recruit athletes, get them recruited to the next level. I mean, he's coached our NFL guys all the way down. So that was a huge hire for me to get him to join us at Shawnee High School. We've got two brothers, the Hunt brothers, what we call them, Bryson and Braden Hunt. They're coming from Little Axe. They're really sharp young coaches, great at building relationships. And then we were able to retain some of Shawnee's best. You know, Coach Lovelace and Coach Williams were here through the transition, getting them excited and ready in the weight room. Coach Moore and Coach Harrison have been around Shawnee for a while, and they're great for our young men, great help. So we've really been able to kind of keep some of our own and then bring in some young, fresh energy and some high-quality men, and that's the formula. You know, it takes a lot. Me, just as the head coach, is not enough. You know, you need an entire program, and it starts with our administration. They've been super supportive. You know, you talked about Dax earlier, his vision and passion for all sports Shawnee, and his attitude of why not? You know, if we want something achieved, why can't we go do it? And let's go do it. And I think that rubs off on all of us coaches around.
Well, in talking about rubbing off, great coaches always downplay themselves, just like Jason is now. He knows that he's got a great staff in place, and now we get to talk about the players. When we come back with Coach Jason Madonna, head football coach at Shawnee High School, right here at Hardesty Deli, it's going to be all about the players. Family owned, The Branding Iron, a variety of great foods that everyone in your family is sure to enjoy. Order online or dine in. Make tonight every night at The Branding Iron. For 25 years, Eric's has served you and your family for all your prescription needs. Eric and his staff love the community and love seeing you in the store conveniently located on North Kickapoo. Make your day brighter by visiting Eric's today. Harrison Discount Pharmacy is concerned about our overall well-being. The Labyrinth on St. Gregory's Abbey grounds. If you're stressed, a walk in the Labyrinth may help you feel better. Harrison Discount Pharmacy, a good neighbor pharmacy.
For over 50 years, Fred's Tire and Battery has served Central Oklahoma with tires, batteries, and service for cars, trucks, and tractors. Friendly and affordable, with 2 locations in Shawnee. Fred's Tire and Battery, a name you can trust.
Clinic Pharmacy across from the hospital has something for you. Boutique items in Shawnee. All your pharmaceutical needs taken care of at the Clinic Pharmacy. Now we get the fun part. At Hardesty's Meat and Deli, where the food is great and the people are even better. Coach Madonna, tell me a little bit about your kids, Summer Pride, who stood out and why.
Good. Summer Pride went well. We asked the kids to try to make 80+%. And I think a handful of our core guys did. It got pushed a little back, and it was a little inconvenient. We had to move some weight racks down to the middle school because of storm damage. And so it was a little out of the ordinary, but I was really pleased with the guys that came. They worked hard. We didn't have any issues trying to motivate them, getting going. A bunch of our young guys stood out. We were averaging about 20-something incoming freshmen a day, so that was really exciting to see. The future of the program. And our older guys, we did a couple 7-on-7 circuits. We went with Midwest City and Putnam City North, and we did a little round robin up at Edmond Santa Fe. And just the way they really went out and competed without a lot of prep time. We had a few practices prior to during spring ball, but it wasn't just a whole bunch of prep time. We went out and competed and did really well. And Jameer, who rotated in at quarterback some last year, he had a great summer, progressing every time we went out. He got better and better, limiting turnovers and being able to make explosive plays. LaRon Thomas really proved himself. He'll be a guy that'll burst on the scene at tight end for us offensively. Just his big body and physicality, he'll be able to run routes and make plays. Ejon Thomas, Dietrich Beavers, Keno Citizen all had good summers as far as just identifying, learning the offense. Defensively as well, Ryan High and Toby, they did a great job at linebacker, figuring out, making big plays and kind of leading us on that end. And then Delmone Miller, I think, is a name that a lot of people are going to recognize as our big play guy, and then kind of a shutdown secondary guy for us. He ran track last year. He didn't play football at Shawnee last year, but I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. He put in a really good summer, really good 7-on-7 circuit. So I'm excited to see all these pieces come together. We have, like you said before, we have a lot of really high-quality athletes at Shawnee. And then once we kind of get them all going in the same direction with the accountability of discipline and being champions on and off the field, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people.
Well, Ryan High, Ejon Thomas, Jameer, those are all names that we've called a lot of. And I believe Jameer even had some start at QB as a freshman. So he's coming in with a lot of experience.
He is. He's a really good leader for us, and I think kids respect him. And he works hard, and he's really coachable as well, too.
That's awesome to hear. But you mentioned 7-on-7s. I'm interested. How did we fare? How did our skill guys go out there and fare against those bigger schools over the summer?
Really well, evenly. You kind of do some round robin, kind of learn, and then you play mini games at the end where, you get 4 downs or 3 downs to get 15 yards and stuff. And throughout the summer, I don't think we lost one. We tied some because it's just a limited time period, but we never just went out and got dominated. We always went out and were competitive and kind of right there, either tie or win at the end. And so just that aspect of it for us coaches is exciting because we know that we have a bunch of competitors who are not afraid of competition, and that's half the battle for us.
Well, and firsthand, the tornado comes through, disaster. Some could look at last year. You don't get a victory on the board. Some would call that a disaster. And I'm one that believes great things come out of disaster. I think that it really builds character in these guys. It helps them know that nothing comes easy and they got to work for everything they got. So talk a little bit about these incoming freshmen who watched that last year. They don't want to be a part of that kind of disaster, I'm just going to call it. Who are some of those people that stand out that might see some playing time on the field this year?
Yeah, one thing exciting about this incoming freshman class is there's a lot of size. We have a lot of linemen, Chuffy Logan, Brody Oliver, who's here right now, back there working.
Hardesty's meeting down.
That's true. Yeah, they had great summers. They really put in a lot of work. As a freshman, it's tough because the training regimen, middle school coming into high school is a little different. So they really absorbed it and had a great effort all summer and just consistency, showing up, putting in the work. And we're a little shallow as far as depth is concerned with our big guys. We have really good high-end guys that we feel really good about, but we just don't have that depth. So they're going to help us provide that depth for us next year up front.
Which means they're going to see some playing time on and off the field, rotations, injuries, all of those things happen throughout a year. And as we look forward now, Jason, to this year, I started with, when I looked at that schedule, I was like, ouch. As coach coming in on that, I know you fear nobody. You're going to go out and you're going to play your best. But when you're dealing in a transition, as you called it, what are the realistic goals that you have set with your young men or with your coaching staff? What is it that we come to November 7th, 10 games after? Are you going to be able to say this has been a success or not a success because of the goals you have set?
Absolutely. Well, I think you got to start small. You can't just come right into it and say it's championship or bust. You know, you have to have realistic, achievable goals. For us, you know, a big part of it is retaining our guys throughout the entire season. You know, no eligibility problems. We've spent a lot of time on injury prevention, try to prevent injuries so that we can stay healthy, stay deep throughout the season. And then we just want to be competitive. You know, we want to eliminate unnecessary penalties. We want to do things right. We want to eliminate the big play defensively. We want to be great tacklers. Offensively, we want to be explosive and give ourselves opportunities to score. We don't want to hurt ourselves with pre-snap penalties or you know, bad plays in crucial times. And then I think if that happens with the talent we have and we give ourselves the opportunity to win, and then we'll be satisfied with the result. You know, max effort, and I'm don't afraid. I think our kids are ready to give that. But that's what you look for coming into a situation like this. You know, you don't know what the other teams have, what they're going through. You know, how injuries play. But if we can stay healthy and we can stay consistent, keep all our guys, give great effort every week, eliminate the penalty stuff and the turnovers and things like that, give ourselves an opportunity at the end of each game, and I think you can go into the offseason feeling successful.
Well, that gives us as fans really something enjoyable to watch when we are able to watch a team compete like you just described. But we're fans. We love big plays. We love those superstars. Somebody we hadn't talked about much is one of the most highly recruited kids coming into his age group in the state would be Dace Shaw. And you also mentioned a kid that I don't know that I've heard about in Miller. Tell me a little bit about those guys, and who am I missing that from the stands we're going to see some electricity?
I'll say, well, I think a lot of people that watched last year, they know Dace Shaw. He's a really explosive athlete, really great start and stop. Now, he'll be our running back and also a linebacker for us. So you see him be able to make plays on both sides of the ball. So his biggest deal is he's going to have to continuously put in extra work to stay fresh. You know, he can't get tired. It's just not an option for him. But I think you're going to see not only can he run the ball, has great vision, explosiveness out of the backfield, he can catch the ball too. You know, you can split him out, you can flare him out, and he can make a lot of plays. So it's going to be a really dynamic weapon for us. Both sides of the ball. You know, we're looking to bring him, make big plays in the backfield, tackling wise, and then also in the back end, interception. He's the guy that always has a nose for the ball. He's always in the play, and that's really exciting for us. And then Delmone Miller, he moved here last year, and he ran track for us. He's a really explosive athlete. So he'll be a wide receiver DB for us, and he's kind of a guy that, you know, everybody we play is not going to have somebody far and above better than him. You know, he'll be at any given time one of the top 2 or 3 athletes on the field. And so for teams to have to cover him, and then if they decide to try to take him away, we have a lot of other weapons.
Yeah.
Ejon Thomas, Keno, Dietrich. We have Laron. We have a lot of guys. Josh Brown. We got a lot of guys that can go catch the ball and make something happen. You know, so I think defenses are going to fear us. They're going to have to respect us. You know, it's not going to be just where they can just show up and be. I mean, people are going to have to earn the right to beat us this year.
I love that. And now something else that fans always love is they love that Rudy. And not necessarily the Rudy, but that underdog. The one that might not be the most athletic out there, but works his tail off day in and day out, and that's why he's in on a lot of the plays. Who is that player on our team this year, Coach? Or who are those players on our team?
Well, we have I don't know that we have a lot of those guys because I'll think highly of the guys that we do have. But one that stands out, just a kid that has unbeatable work ethic, is Dawson McDaniel. I mean, he's a little undersized. He didn't play a bunch last year on varsity, but he's just kind of, anytime we had a weightlifting session, he's there, he's lifting hard. Anytime we got a running session, he's working as hard as he can. You know, and so at fullback and at linebacker for us, he's a guy that we're counting on to show up, and you can know that he's going to do what he's coached to do. You know, and so that's the guy that comes to mind in that role. Another guy is Ishmael Martin. He's a guy that put in a really good summer. He's made a bunch of strides. You know, I don't think he played a lot last year, He's another running back, fullback, linebacker guy for us. And I think he's going to burst onto the scene purely because his work ethic. You know, both of Dawson and Ishmael have a lot of athletic ability, but they don't have the wow stature. They're not super tall. They're not blazing fast, but they just work hard and they do things consistently right. And I think it's going to pay off for them.
Well, you'll learn this about me, that I'm a proud Irishman. I like that. So I like to hear Mick, and of course I like to hear Daniel. That is going to be easy to remember. I'll be looking for Dawson throughout the year, my man.
Good deal.
Hey, how about this place? I mean, Hardesty's Meat and Deli. What are your thoughts?
Wonderful. I've had nothing but great experiences here. As you can tell, I enjoy my meats, you know, and every sandwich I've got or every cut I've got out of here has been delicious. And so this will be a staple. If you want to run into me in the middle of the day, this will be a good chance for you to get that opportunity.
Talk some football, and he's been feeding, I know, Oliver sandwiches at the same time, because that boy has doubled in size since just last April.
Yeah, he's gotten big. He's put in a lot of work. You know, he came up and hung out with us during spring ball and just watched to learn and kind of got around our older guys, and he fits right in.
Well, come on down. Hardesty's Meat and Deli. Talk with Jason, a little bit of Shawnee football, and if he's not here, there's always people here that you can talk with about that. And you know that we love to bring you Shawnee Athletics. It's about to kick off in early August. We start with softball and volleyball. September 1, football season opens. They'll be playing their games over at OBU. There's a few Thursday night home games, so you're going to want to watch those dates and come out and shout for the Wolves. Coach Jason Madonna, thanks for being with us, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
I love speaking with you, and the energy that you bring. Our kids are going to benefit for years to come.
Well, thank you.
Remember, Shawnee, together we build community, one season at a time. We'll see you later. This is where we say bye.
See you guys. Thank you.